Hello everyone, Jez here again with another video. Sorry for a different setup today, because I am testing out other options to record my stuff, whether it be on the library side of the house or inside my room. One thing is clear for sure is, I'll be needing some more lights and stands if I want to switch setups whenever I want. As we are getting sidetracked, I'll continue for today's content. It will be a Beyblade X, but not from the Takara Tomy brand but from the SB brand. Two bays, mainly the Dran Buster in red color variation and the Wizard Rod. First thing I will point out here is that the box is quite big and there was a mistake in naming of the Dran Buster on the box. It was written here that this bay was the Hell's Hammer. I guess we will be expecting these kind of mistakes from this brand when I'll be tackling on this specific brand on the future. Next is here on the photo of the box, it was specifically shown that it will come with a launcher and ripcord set, but when I opened the box, to my surprise, both bays came with a string launcher. Dran Buster though, it had a ripcord included inside. I guess an error in the packaging department. It's a win for me though, paid a price for the bay and ripcord set. But what I got was the string launcher, which was slightly higher on the pricing list on the shop where I got it. For the Dran Buster, I came in with an all-red theme. The blade was nicely painted in red, but basing on the quality of the paint, this will not hold on for long. Then it came with a 160 ratchet and XL for the bit, also both in color red. Wizard Rod next. We can totally see the quality of the metal as very shiny. I have no way for testing if it has lead content to it, but better wash off your hands with soap after playing with these bays. Wizard Rod had an issue on the ratchet but was fixed by tightening the screws. And it came with the 570 ratchet and disc ball bit. For the weighing of the parts of these SB bays, I will be displaying the weights of each specific parts of their Takara Tomy counterparts for reference. Since I do not own the original Takara bays to be presented as a comparison. Also, the weighing scale I am using is not that accurate. It can't really read the weight of the bits that are below 3 grams, but I have bought a new one and it's its way here on my doorstep soon. So on my future videos, I can finally measure the exact weight of the beys and their parts accurately. As we finally have the data, but due to its inaccuracy, we could simply deduce that the weighing scale is rounding up its results, which is fine. What is not fine is the inaccurate weight of the blade parts from the original Takara beys, especially the wizard rod, outweighing the Takara bey around 2 grams, while the Dran Buster is just somewhat close to the OG Takara bey in its overall weight. The SB brand beys are a good copy in looks but are very inconsistent on its production, which leads to the blade parts overweighing the original. The ratchet and bits though are a hit and miss. Some are identically the same, but there are times that they either outweigh or under. After all those test fights and comparing by watching the performance of the Takara Bay and what I have recorded on these SB brand bays, I can say in my opinion that the SB bay's performance of the Dran Buster was really off from the Takara ones. As for the Wizard Rod, this bay was a real tank. Either Takara and SB, but it also had the same issue on the Takara due to its height and multiple hits on its ratchet. Wizard Rod could be defeated via burst finish. I have off-screen test battles of these sadly that I didn't have the time to record those burst finishes. The string launcher by the way was surprisingly good. I enjoyed playing with it and it really is a powerhouse if you pull harder. For now this could be a good go-to alternative if you can't afford to buy the original Takara string launchers. We'll further test the launchers on how long will it last until its gears wore out. My final thoughts to these two bays are a mixed one. First of all, I am not recommending buying these bootleg bays as they are a hazard. But due to the economic status here on the PH, not everyone have the luxury to buy the original ones, and these are the only option left on those who live with salaries of paycheck to paycheck and wants to experience the joy of playing Beyblades. I am making these videos as a guide and compare what bootlegs look like and how they perform than the original ones. I can afford buying the original ones, but I am a fan of the classic plastic gens and only prefers buying the variations for collection purposes, but there are times that I might buy something out of impulse, and I find these bootlegs very intriguing as I grew up from buying these ones, from Gunpla, Tamiya to Beyblades and Zoids. I know the feeling of wanting to buy the original ones, and it takes time to earn those allowances, but the bootlegs were there and helped me enjoy my childhood. For those who can afford and buy the original ones, please purchase those to support the company. For those who are left of only having this option, just make sure to remain very cautious as bootlegs have a tendency to break quickly. After playing with these, always wash your hands with soap and apply some alcohol for safety measures. Finally, for my thoughts of these two bays. These were an okay copy. Dran Buster was not on par as the original in performance but could be a good centerpiece on your shelf for display. Wizard Rod was on par on performance with the original, the only down part was it overweighing than the original, which could help it outperform the OG one. Both can be in a good display piece as the difference can only be noticed if you really take a closer look to it. The included string launchers are also performing well and can be a good alternative. If I look ahead in the future uploads, I can see that I can make some customization content to these bays, custom painting and more. That's all for this video. Thank you all for watching. Expect an unboxing video next week for all of my hauls for this month. Jez out.